What is up, you guys, and welcome back to our channel. It's our Sunday upload, so you already know what's happening. It is a Bachelor recap video for you guys, and there are so many things to cover because this week's episode was the Women Tell All. So it was everyone getting together, recapping the season. I'm just ready. Let's do it. Okay, so right out the gate, Chris Harrison is introducing the episode, or the whole recap, and
Women Tell All.
He says that we may think we know how the season is going to end, but we don't. And then he's like, we're gonna recap the season before we get started with the girls, with the women, and the first thing that we see is Matt in the shower.
Why not?
It's the very first thing we see. And so then we hear all the girls, like the recap of the girls talking about how hot Matt is. And they're like,
he's the hottest man I've ever seen.
Every Bachelor. That's what every woman on every season of The Bachelor says about every Bachelor. You're the hottest man I've ever seen.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. Anyways, so we start out the evening with a little review of what happened between MJ and Jasenia, aka the stupidest fight of the season, if you ask me. They seemed much more calm about the whole situation. I mean, MJ was still, like, you could tell she was still upset that the whole thing even had to happen in the first place, but they just seemed to be much more chill about the conversation. There was no, like, yelling or anything like that. But Jasenia says that she was just frustrated with MJ's denial, and MJ says that she did acknowledge and own her mistake. Mari sided with MJ because I guess they were roommates or something. Mm-hmm. And then MJ sort of finishes everything off by saying that she has a strong personality and that can kind of sometimes be misconstrued as mean. I don't know. I still don't really have a side in this argument. I just think the whole thing was stupid, basically.
My side is from what the producers have shown us. And I side with Jasenia.
I mean, in the time I did side with Jasenia, but in complete reflection of it all, Jasenia was also a mean girl. She was mean to the new girls. She was especially mean when Heather showed up. So I just feel like, all in all, neither one of them were in the right. So I don't side with either of them. Then we kind of talk about the whole situation when the 5 new girls showed up, and Ryan says that it was uncomfortable, and she addresses Victoria's meanness, which means that, of course, the next topic of conversation is going to be Victoria herself. I will say that I was expecting Victoria to say a lot of wild and crazy things like she did throughout the season, but we didn't really hear much from her throughout the episode. Mm-hmm. Unless she was being directly spoken to, she didn't really talk that much.
Right.
I think that maybe she has recognized some of the heat she's received online, and so she wanted to, and she wanted to kind of, she didn't want to receive any more heat or hate, so I think she was just trying to, like, keep her words to a minimum. So Mari and Ryan start discussing, and Victoria says that Ryan is sensitive. Because Victoria says that I have been cyberbullied, but I've just brushed it off. Whereas I say a few mean things to you, and you can't handle it. You're too sensitive. Then Kit and Chelsea both stick up for Ryan, and they say that her feelings were valid, and that she was called names on national TV, so she has a right to be upset about what happened. But Victoria continues to stick to her guns that, well, yeah, whatever, but I'm cyberbullied online based on all the things that happened to me and all the things that I said, and I'm just brushing it off. Then we get into the Katie versus Victoria thing, and we watch a recap of that. Katie doesn't like that she was called disgusting. Victoria does apologize, and she says that this process was a learning experience. And then Katie says something about karma, which was a little bit like, Katie, I don't know about that. And so then Chelsea and Mari both start ganging up on Katie, followed by Piper, and then Serena C. I did not understand this at all. Everyone is still so upset that Katie went to Matt about the bullying in the house, and honestly, I'm at a point where I feel like it speaks to your character if, rather than owning what you said and the way that you were acting towards the new girls, you instead take out all of your anger and aggression and you get angry with the girl who basically put you in the spotlight and
put light to the situation.
Yeah, and Katie never said who the bullies were or what was being said. She just said there's bullying and toxicity in the house, period. That's all she said. And so now everyone is mad at her for it, and I don't understand that at all.
All the girls that were in the drama, that were causing the drama and all the bullying, they started to come to light.
Right.
By getting defensive and
I just didn't, why are you getting so defensive and getting so mad at Katie? All she did, if you watch that scene back, all of these girls are being so mean and saying these nasty, horrible things about the new girls in the house. And Katie gets like physically disgusted and stands up and goes to tell Matt what's going on. That's what happened. She wasn't being like, I don't know. It wasn't like one person had asked, I can't remember who said it. Oh, it was Piper, and she asked Katie how she thought that telling Matt about the drama was going to improve their relationship. And Katie said that wasn't her intention, which is like very clear in the way that she does it, because in past Bachelor seasons, if someone wanted to throw someone else under the bus, they would specifically use their names. They would be very petty, and you could always tell it was not going to go in their favor. Katie didn't use anyone's name. She didn't even use Brittany's name. Like the whole drama was about
who was getting bullied.
Yeah, she just said there is rumors going around that could potentially ruin a woman's life, and she didn't name anybody. She left it in Matt's hands to deal with on his own in the way that he felt best. So this honestly just had me very worked up and upset. And then Jasenia sides with Katie, saying that it was the conversation that needed to be had. Then Chris Harrison brings Brittany forward because all of this new girl drama basically surrounded around her. So Brittany comes forward and Chris recaps what happened. So we again get to watch Brittany get called an escort on national television. Again, I just still don't understand why that was aired on national television.
Yeah, she was also very quiet for this whole everything.
She barely spoke all night long until she was in the hot seat. But anyways,
you could tell that she didn't feel
comfortable.
Yeah,
she was uncomfortable. Brittany says, "You see me come in, this smiley, strong, confident girl, and then all of that's changed in a matter of 24 hours because of what goes down." Chris asks Brittany how like home life had been for her once she returned home, and Brittany just gets very emotional. She starts crying, and she says that she now has to forever defend her name. And then, obviously they ask Anna and bring her into the conversation, and Anna apologizes, and Brittany says that she hopes it's genuine because she had all of this time to reach out to Brittany after the show had ended, and she's only just now apologizing now that they're on television again.
Right.
Rather than reaching out to her one-on-one. I think Anna truly has learned from her mistakes. However, you just can't take it back. This is now something that's out there forever.
Yeah, the thing is, though, that when people look up this sort of incident that happened and everything, the first person that's going to pop up is Brittany.
Yeah.
It's not
Brittany
Anna.
even said that. If you look up her name, it comes up like articles about her being accused of being an escort. So my heart honestly just breaks for Brittany and this whole situation. The fact that Anna called her this, and then the fact that Bachelor producers decided that it was appropriate to air on national television. But Mari asks what Anna's goal was, and Anna says that she was insecure, which I think, honestly, I think that's valid.
No, it's not valid, but it's an excuse.
It is, yeah.
It's a true excuse.
Right. I'm not saying I defend Anna. I'm just saying I understand how insecurities can sometimes get the best of you. That's all I'm saying. My heart breaks for Brittany, and I hate this whole situation for her. And I really truly hope that Anna has learned from her mistake and that she does better moving forward, and that she's just wiser. You know what I mean? I think a lot of the girls but a lot of girls on this episode had said that this whole process of being on The Bachelor was a major learning experience for them, and I hope that's true. Then we get this moment where Chris starts showing us all these unseen dates, and it made me so mad. We see all this unseen footage in this episode, and it made me so mad because it really showed me that Bachelor producers and whoever else, editors, whatever, they prioritized the drama over everything else. Seriously.
Over any funny moments.
Because we get these really funny dates, the what's in the box / fear factor type date, and we get a pancakes eating, it's a pancake eating challenge, and then a beer chugging challenge, and it's like these hilarious, whimsical, funny dates that we never see because they decided to spend way too much time airing all of the drama. Then we get a hide and seek game that they played in the woods, and Kit gets lost, and she's being hilarious, saying all these super funny things because she's from the city, and she says,
"I'm a city slicker. I've never been in the woods before."
She's out in the woods just saying these really hilarious things. We also get this clip where on the boxing date, there's this clip where they had to drink raw eggs before they went to go box. It's just all these really funny things that happen, and that we never saw because they felt that we needed to see all the drama instead. We needed to see women acting like trash to other women instead, which is just so sad. Then we get Katie in the hot seat, and they have a little powwow, and this was another thing that made me so upset. If you remember, when we recapped the episode of Katie's one-on-one, I had said that I wasn't super shocked when Katie got sent home because we haven't really seen much of them together. In this hot seat moment with Katie, we see all of this unseen footage of this like really strong connection between Katie and Matt. She was really hardcore falling for him. Chris Harrison even says that Katie was the gift that keeps on giving. And I even wrote in my notes, we watched the whole thing back. We didn't see any of this. All of these really sweet moments. Katie becomes very emotional watching her get sent home. And after seeing all the footage, I was even getting a little emotional. I also really love Katie, so I think that's why I was getting emotional. She says that she felt very strongly about their connection. She even said, and I quote, "I have had to compromise my personality in the past, but I didn't have to do that with Matt." She then says that she's now very accepting of why she was sent home because after watching it back, she kind of sees how strong his connection is with like Michelle and Rachel, for example, and she feels like she couldn't even compete. But in the moment, it was very hard because she did feel like Matt could have been the one. Then she says that she is now fully accepting of herself and that she's still looking for her person. I felt like the last half of her in the hot seat was her like very hardcore auditioning to be the Bachelorette, if you ask me. You have a pipe cleaner stuck to your butt. Then we get Abigail in the hot seat and we kind of recap the relationship between Abigail and Matt. Then we don't really talk too much about their relationship. It's more so about the fact that Abigail was so loved on the show and that she being on the show has brought a lot of attention to the deaf community, deaf with a capital D. She emphasized a lot. She explained what the differences in the community are between her not being fully deaf and then, people in the community who are. But then they read through a bunch of positive tweets about Abigail, and then I wrote, "We love Abigail." Then we get Piper in the hot seat, and I wrote, "Why?" The way that Piper was when Heather showed up, I just couldn't handle it, so now I'm just like, why is Piper even in the hot seat? Chris Harrison says,
"When Piper got sent home, it left Bachelor Nation stunned."
And I wrote, were we? I feel like I remember watching that episode and you and I were like, it's either gonna be Piper or Bree. And then it was Piper. So I feel like I wasn't that shocked when she got sent home. I feel like I'm being mean. Am I being mean? I'm not trying to be mean. I wasn't that shocked when she got sent home. Anyways, Piper admits that she was definitely in love with him. She never actually said that to Matt. She has said a couple of times that she was falling in love with him, but never that she was actually. And now she says that looking back and really reflecting on her time with him, that she was definitely in love with him, but kind of too scared to admit it. And then she questions whether Matt was always honest about his emotions because they were definitely on different pages. And she definitely, she reiterates the fact that he was able to make every single one of the girls feel special. Then after Piper's hot seat moment, we get Serena P in the hot seat and they review everything and Chris asks if she feels like leaving was a mistake. And Serena, just kind of says that she definitely felt very strongly for Matt and she still cares for him very much and that she never wanted to hurt him, but staying would have been a disservice to him because he deserves someone that's 100% on him. Then we bring out Matt and everyone talks about his beard. And Chris Harrison says, "Were you surprised by the amount of drama?" And I thought Matt's response was very just honest and very sweet and aware. He says that, "I was a little surprised, but I try not to hold an unrealistic expectation. I try to be sympathetic to their situation." Then Matt and MJ talk, and MJ tells him, "You did a good job." Matt and Serena C talk, and Serena C says, "I hope you don't think that we're bad people, mean people after watching everything that happened." And Matt says no, because he knows all of their true hearts and that he doesn't think any less of them. He reiterates the fact that he's just trying to be sympathetic to the situation that they were in. Then Matt and Victoria talk, and Victoria says, "Yes, I was involved in drama, but it hurt my feelings to hear you say that I have self-reflection to do." And Matt says, "When people ask me about you, I have nothing but good things to say." Matt and Katie then talk, and Matt tells Katie, "In the face of adversity, you were courageous." Then they have this whole bit where they talk about Matt kissing with his eyes open, and we watch it over and over again, which honestly, this just made me feel uncomfortable for all the girls in the room, because it's just a reminder to them that even if they had a strong connection with Matt and they were kissing, 2 minutes later he would be making out with someone else. So anyways, but it was like this whole bit because Matt always kisses with his eyes open. Matt then talks to Abigail, and Abigail says, I just want to say thank you. She's just very accepting of everything that happened, and she's not too grudge holding or upset. None of the women really seemed that way, except for maybe Piper, because then she says, what led to me leaving? And Matt says there was no one thing. It's just that, you know, when you're dating this many people, you have to follow your heart, basically. Then we get the Matt and Serena P moment, because in the show time, she was the most recent person to leave. Serena says, I felt being honest with you was the most respectful thing that I could do. Then we get another unseen footage moment between Matt, Tayshia, and JoJo, and it was gold, you guys. And I was like, why did we miss this? And then we got the bloopers, and I felt like these were the best bloopers of any Bachelor season I had ever seen. And I think the reason why they were so good is because most of them could have been in the show, but they just decided that they wanted to focus on the drama again. So, yeah. Anyways, you guys, those are all of our thoughts on the Women Tell All. There are only 2 episodes left in this season of The Bachelor, and I'm so excited to see what happens, to see if Matt ends up with somebody. The fantasy suites are this week's episode, tomorrow's episode, and then obviously the final 2. And I'm just so pumped. I'm ready to see what happens, you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe on both YouTube and Facebook if you have not done so already, and make sure that you give this video a big thumbs up, give it a like, because it really supports our channel. And if you're watching this on YouTube, don't you forget to tick the notification bell down below so that you get notified every single time we post a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to tune in next time. Bye!